Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hi, this is Zoe Deutsch.
And Nick Robinson. Our brand new movie, Voicemails for Isabel, is all about those little moments that feel like the universe is looking out.
Feeling homesick? Then your sister calls.
Hearing that perfect song exactly when you need it. Sometimes life rigs things in our favor, like learning about your new favorite rom-com, Voicemails for Isabel. Only on Netflix, June 19th.
Sierra has all the best active and outdoor brands for the super athletic stuff, like running gear for cruising up the trail. Woo! And the super athletic-ish stuff, like fishing gear for chilling by the creek. Nice cast. Fitness apparel to push for higher reps. You got this. And golf balls priced so you can afford to lose one. Or a few. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athletic-ish, Sierra's got it.
Ready to soundtrack your summer? With Red Bull Summer All Day Play, you choose a playlist that fits your summer vibe the best. Are you a festival fanatic, a deep end DJ, a road dog, or a trail mixer? Just add a song to your chosen playlist and put your summer on track. Red Bull Summer All Day Play. Red Bull gives you wings. Visit redbull.com/brightsummer ahead to learn more. See you this summer.
Good sleep is everything. That's why Ollie's Science Back Support is made with a blend of melatonin and L-theanine for both kiddos and grown-ups. So when your mind won't switch off, you've got something that can help. Your racing thoughts and restless nights won't stand a chance. Find Ollie sleep solutions for the whole family at ollie.com. That's OLLY.com.
Plan B is a backup birth control option that's there for you when things don't go according to plan. It specifically works after unprotected sex and before pregnancy occurs by temporarily delaying ovulation. Plan B is available nationwide at all major retailers and through delivery apps like DoorDash. No ID, prescription, or age requirement. It's the #1 OBGYN recommended brand of emergency contraception, and it won't impact your future fertility. That's freedom to be. Use as directed.
Hey, what's up, fam? And welcome back again to Recap Kickback. It's me, your host, Chappell, and we are back for a very special occasion. We have been leading up to this for months. We have talked about season 1 of Interview with the Vampire. We've talked about season 2 of Interview with the Vampire, but next up is the next installment of this cinematic universe. And in this universe, it is the Vampire Lestat. And with me to talk about the Vampire Lestat, my very own vampire expert here to grace us with all of her knowledge and to get into some of the mess of what one of TV's messiest couples. It is.
Yeah, I'm very glad to be back. We've been teeing this up for the past few months now. It's finally here. The Vampire Lestat is here. This will be our first time covering a season live. So that's going to be fun. This is going to be the first time where we both don't know what happens. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
this is great.
Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like not knowing what happens. Because Mari, normally when we talk, if people are new here, you'll catch on. But when we talk about like House of the Dragon, which is coming soon, or Game of Thrones, or Dunkin' Egg, and all that stuff, Mari has read the book. She knows the literature. She's on the inside. She got the scoop. And so then when we watched Interview with the Vampire, I had the scoop because I had seen season 1 and 2 before Mari did. And so I was very much able to kind of walk Mari through the ins and outs, but also I was very fun watching her react to some of the things. Now here we are with the Vampire Lestat, and neither one of us knows what's going on. And so we're back on level playing field, except for Mari is our vampire expert. Why don't you tell everybody about your credentials?
So if you don't know, the credentials are I just read a lot of vampire books. I read so many different types of vampire books, heavy into the deep vampire lore. I originally did read like the original like Interview with the Vampire, but it was so long ago I don't remember. Saw the movies so long ago, did not remember. Saw the movie that this season will be based off of so long ago that I don't remember. So I am actively checking myself to not go back and read the books or watch the movie so that I can be surprised, because yeah, it's so tempting for me when I know something that's coming out that is a book, I will normally run and read it first. So we're all going to be surprised, but my credentials are, I just love to read about vampires. I love to read about your old school vampires, all the way back to Bram Stoker's original vampire novella to, I talked about on here. There's a Vampire Huntress series that I love to read. That's like 20 books deep. Just everything. Like I read vampires. The only vampires I don't read is Twilight. I was not a fan of the Twilight series, so I did not participate in that. But other than that, I do love me some vampires.
Yes, and we love having you here to give us your expertise, because I don't know anything. I'm not a vampire fan in general, but we do like covering content, especially Black content. And so with the Interview with the Vampire, our main character, Louis DuPont Duloc, portrayed by Jacob Anderson, Black man. So we got into Interview with the Black ass vampire and this crazy romance. But this season is going to center around the vampire Lestat. That's right. Lestat is stepping into the spotlight. The story is shifting, and we're excited to see where this next chapter takes us, and takes one of the most fascinating and chaotic characters on TV right now. So whether you've been with us in season 1 or you're just now jumping in, come join the fun. Leave us some comments, like the YouTube video, all that good stuff. But before we sink in to today's episode, or before we sink our teeth in, I guess I should say, we got a few things happening around Recap Kickback and our podcast. First, our Flavor of Love Cinematic Universe series continues to roll on with me and my co-host Chantel. Right now, we're making our way through Charm School. We're at the ultimate episode of Charm School. And Mari, we just found out about who was the whore of Charm School. Do you remember that episode?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I won't spoil it, but it was a good time. So check that out. All those crazy moments, huh?
I said I'll go and check it out.
Oh yeah, it was a doozy. But yeah, all those crazy moments. We also have a way for you to watch the episodes of Charm School. If you appreciate that, you can check our show notes, and those are linked in the comments or in the show notes of the episode summary. So check that out. And then also, if you're looking for ways to support Recap Kickback, you can now send tips directly through YouTube. Every contribution helps in creating content, covering the shows, the movies we love, because we be going to the movies a lot for the Recap Kickback listeners. And so, show some love whenever you can. And while you're supporting the Kickback, don't forget about Mari and her custom cups. Mari, we did it. We did it. The Vampire Lestat cups, and with some Louis cups as well. Mari, tell everybody about your custom cup shop.
So if you've been following us, you should know I opened up a custom tumbler shop where I make really cool cups. Chappell has a few over there. And for the Vampire Lestat, he's showing a crime scene drip cup. Yeah. Yes. If you go to maricraftstoomuch.bigcartel.com, you can find a new category. I added a Vampire Lestat category with 2 pre-made decals right now. I'll have more decals as the show goes along, but we have a Lestat decal and a Louis decal. Chappell is clicking on it to give you a better look at it. You can order the decal only, sure, I'll send you the sticker, it'll be cool. Or you can get it on a cup. You pick your cup style: glitter cup, shimmer cup, dual lava cup. If you probably don't know what I mean, but just go on my website and you'll see what it is. And then we'll put Lestat on there. I'll customize it for you. You can leave notes to tell me what you might want on it, and it's just fun. And like I said, I have Lestat and Louis up there, but as you saw, there's also a custom link there. So if you want me to do some Claudia or some Armand for you, let me know. I can do that as well. I can basically put anything on a cup. So yeah, if you want to support and get something, a little memento, a little token, support my Tumblr business.
Yes. We have I have a couple of the cups. My favorite one is currently in the kitchen because I have to wash it because I use it every day. But yeah, I have my House of the Dragon Team Green cup. Yeah, if you want to support, there are tons of ways to support the Recap Kickback. But the easiest way you can support us by subscribing and sharing it with your friends so they can keep up with our Vampire Lestat content too. Now, enough housekeeping. The Rockstar Vampire has arrived. The fans have opinions, and we've got plenty to talk about. So let's get into it. And first and foremost, Mari, I'll have to say that if you're hearing this right now, you are a very privileged individual because everybody did not get a chance to hear the story of the Vampire Lestat. He is telling this story seemingly from the grave, maybe?
Right. Yeah, maybe. Very interesting start here. Yeah, a little auction, feeling like we're auctioning off his property after something happens, some world chaos or something. So very, very intriguing beginning. Like I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, because this auction has a lot of the characters that we've known over the course of Interview with the Vampire. We see Louis DuPont Duloc, Jacob Anderson sitting right there. But we also see Armand. Very happy to see Armand here as well. So there's that.
With an eye patch.
With an eye patch, yeah. Armand, please tell us more. We see Daniel Malloy is still involved in this time period. I think Justin Kirk's character, Raglan James, is there as well. So I'm already annoyed because I'm like, okay, all the fan favorites are back. I wonder how they're going to play into this storyline, especially because this is the story told to us by Lestat. So, Mark, this puts us in roughly 2020, 2022, right? 2021?
I have no idea, right? Because when we get to Lestat, it says circa 2025. So I'm like, if it's circa 2025, we have to be past 2025 when this auction is going on.
Yeah, I think we're getting a lot of flashbacks in this epoSode because, yeah, you're right. When we get to Lestat, at first it's 2025, and then we see him kind of go back and recap basically how he became this rock star because he is now taking up this dual identity as a rock star. So right after basically the events of the big coming out, I guess, of the vampires, the Daniel Malloy story is out. The world is enthralled in vampire lore for just a little bit. But then because it's the new era of the world where we're all attached to our phones and digitalized, the book craze kind of brushes over after a certain point. You know, the people aren't so into the vampires anymore. And so the Vampire Lestat himself is just trying to make do. He's trying to like assimilate and kind of get the stench off of him, right? Because if you do read Daniel Malloy's Pulitzer Prize winning book, I might add, and believe the things that he said, then you should be very concerned about this man. But nope, he has decided to like live into this alter ego of Rockstar who pretends to be a vampire. It's giving Gangrel, Mari, not to make a wrestling reference.
Yeah, it's a very was it Big Brother where you make your target so large so large that it becomes invisible. Like instead of shirking away and hiding, he's like, no, I'm going to embody the Vampire Lestat in a rock group. Well, people will think it's fake, or will they be like, or is it fake? It's the whole like hiding in plain sight. It's exactly what they did at Theater des Vampires. You know what I'm saying? It's like same thing. You know, history repeats itself. You're so flashy and showy with it that people just aren't sure if it's an act or not.
Right. And there are several vampires that will pop in for the shows because we still get I think one cool thing that I've always liked about this is when we get the sounds of other vampires' minds, right? When you can hear them whispering amongst themselves. Lestat being very powerful, he can definitely hear these people's thoughts when they want him to. And so there are a couple of vampires that even show up for the performances, and they are not impressed or pleased by his carrying on because he's still breaking the old laws. Mari, for the people who are new here, could you kind of give a brief overview of like what the old laws could be?
Now, why?
Because I know you know them vaguely, you know.
When did
Yeah,
we
you
cover
study up.
it?
Okay.
Well,
Right.
we know that rule 4 is do not reveal yourself to a mortal. For them, I think the other rule was like only coven leaders can
make someone.
make someone. You do not kill another vampire. Like vampires don't kill vampires. What else?
Those are the big 3.
Yeah.
Coven leadership. They can't give the dark gifts to children. Remember, because that was Claudia's whole thing.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
That one. Yep.
Whew, R.I.P. to homie. So Lestat still breaking rules because he's in broad daylight, and we know that that's not supposed to happen. He also has a doppelganger that they've gone and employed to get people off his back. Because let's say you did still think Lestat is a vampire, and some people do, you now see him out in public, eating sandwiches alone, hanging out with groupies, and so they think, okay, well, he can't possibly be a vampire if he's out doing all of this. It seems like he has a pretty good setup.
Right, exactly. And can I just say, first off, very funny. I was like, wait, what? I was confused for a second. I was like, that was because it was Sam Reed playing a doppelganger of himself. Whereas, like, how are you making Sam Reed not look like Sam Reed so that you can then make him look like Sam Reed, the actor who plays Lestat? And I was like, that's genius. And it's like his managers and stuff, they're going along with it as if he's a vampire, but he still technically had not told them he is. Like, he hadn't told his bandmates at this point, and he hadn't told the manager who has set all of this up. So it's just kind of funny how he's shirking all of this. Like, he really is just like created a whole mastermind plan about it just so he could like live out loud, really. And two, I want to ask people if anybody here who listens to us has watched the Order of the Talamasca. Let us know. Are we missing something there? Should we go back and watch that? Because I feel like there were some, like maybe like some nuggets that people who watched that might have picked up. I just want to know if we're missing something.
If we need to go back and add that to maybe our knowledge base so we can at least not be on the wrong track with some of these reads. That's a really good point. Let us know in the comments. Mari, he's also filming a documentary. Now, if you think the book was taking things too far, we're getting a behind the music kind of walkthrough of a day in the life of Lestat and his band. And it's like that vintage VH1 MTV feel that you used to get back in the day watching stuff. I miss it so much. But to see that they're doing it about it,
the video.
Yes. So we need that. We lose some recipes, y'all. Yeah, we lost so many recipes over these years. Dear God. Give them back, please. But yeah, so we got Lestat doing this documentary, and you would think after the book, you probably wouldn't want to do that. But it turns out that the director of the documentary is none other than Daniel Malloy, out here to get another story popping off. And this time it is the Vampire Malloy instead of just regular Daniel.
Yeah, this was really cool. I like this. I think it's so funny that it's like Daniel Malloy took Louis' side. He wrote Louis' side. Now he's over here documenting Lestat's side. And it was just really funny. It was such a good way to incorporate Daniel here. And Daniel thinks he's cool, right? He thinks he is hot shit now that he is a vampire, and more power to him, you know. And you can tell he likes the life, the high life. And the documentary itself is so hilarious. It's like Lestat just putting on, like really, really putting on. So it's really fun to watch.
Sam Reed really does embody the idea that Lestat is so gregarious and larger than life, and he just can't help himself. He needs to be the center of attention. Everything is about him, and he just thrives as a rock star. It's so fun to watch.
It's so good.
Yeah, and I guess I get this from Daniel Malloy, like why you would be attracted to this. But Daniel does not need to make another documentary, right? He is immortal. He doesn't have to worry about money or anything like that. He's got some he's got some decently strong blood in him, that made him a vampire in the first place. But it's like he's still got to scratch that itch to tell the rest of this story, because we will find out that not Louis and Lestat, neither one of them really liked the way they were portrayed in the documentary. They just kind of like, especially Lestat. I mean, the book, especially Lestat, because it was Louis' version of the tale. So Daniel is right here, like, I'm an investigative journalist. At the end of the day, if there's a story to be told, I want to dive in. He's just constantly asking Lestat question after question after question. And Lestat is just not even giving him the satisfaction. I don't know if he doesn't trust Daniel, being that he's already kind of been burned by him before with the way the book went out, or if he's just playing coy. But I know Lestat wants to tell his side of the story.
Yeah, exactly. It's really the us seeing him talking to Louis and then the book dropping. I think this is the sneak peek that we got.
On the iPad.
Yeah. And he's like talking to Louis. The book drops. He goes to the bookstore. He's reading the book, and we get him going through it line by line, like saying the lies and stuff. As he was kind of rambling some of the stuff off, I was like, "No, tell us!" Like, I really want to know what is the lie, because Chappell, like we talked about on this podcast, we talked about it. You asked me several times, like, what part of this do you think is a lie? What part of this do you think is inconsistent memories? Because that's what Daniel Malloy was asking Louis. And that's what we've been going back and forth talking about when we were talking about like the original movie series and how the original movies interfere in this. And it's like, is Louis' recounting of these events changed over time because of how his feelings toward Lestat have changed? And so for Lestat to finally read the book, come back and just be incensed at some of the stories that are told about him, I want to know. Like, honestly, this whole show could just be Lestat going back and forth between like the last two seasons, be like, nope, that didn't happen, nope, that didn't happen. And I would probably be satisfied. Because I forgot the thing that he mumbled to himself that I was cracking up when he said, he's like, that didn't happen like that or whatever. I have to watch this again. I definitely have to watch this again. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to watch this a second time this week, but I definitely plan to try and watch them 2 times. One, because there's so much happening, and 2, Lestat's vocabulary is ridiculous. There were so many times I was like, girl, what?
He is annoying. You do not have to talk like that. We get it. You're well-read, a billion years old. We understand. But damn, can I enjoy the show without you like waxing poetically about just your vocabulary in general? Everything he says is just drawn out and lavish. It's just like, hey man, get to the point. I want to know what you're talking about. So yeah, I'm like you. I gotta go back and re-listen to some of the stuff that he was saying. Most of it is just words. Most of it's just him flexing. He's not actually telling any compelling part of the story, which I think is really good from the writers, that they're like able to, okay, we'll allow him to do his Lestat thing over here, and then when it's time to move the storyline over, we'll make sure we get, dive in a little bit deeper into some of the things he's saying. I totally agree. Also, I wouldn't even know if we could believe Lestat's side of the story, right? Because, he's also incentivized to make himself not look as bad as he potentially looked in that book. But I do want to hear it. I want to hear exactly what it is. And then somehow, some way, Mari, we need somebody to step in who knows the actual truth. Because the closest thing we had to like firsthand accounts was the Claudia diary. And now Claudia's gone.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so and that's what it was. One of the things where he said, "Oh, when I threatened Claudia on the train, were you there?" and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll never know the truth. More.
So shortly after the events of what we saw, we find out that I think he's in Montreal, and this is when he's FaceTiming Louis and finding out about the book, and he is not loving it, but he's in a decent area. A decent neighborhood with old money and trust fund babies, no hurricanes and witches like it was in New Orleans, but still, French-ish. And so he seems happy, but I'm really fascinated with the relationship between him and Louis in general, because where I stand. I don't know if you're if you're listening to this, stand up You know, I am one of the people who like, Louis, please, for the love of God. And so throughout the entire episode, he's Lestat, we see him texting somebody. We see him texting somebody. We saw him FaceTiming Louis, but we see him texting. And the entire time, I'm like, I will give anything for that to not be Louis that he's texting. And
yeah.
You know, that was my biggest stressor because I was thinking, okay, I don't mind. Like, listen, I don't want Jacob Anderson's character to go anywhere. We need Louis in this story. But I don't need these two together. I don't need it together. Tell a different story because that one, 2 seasons, that storyline has run stale for me, Mari.
That storyline has run stale. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So one of the big issues that Lestat is having is that I think he has a little bit of PTSD because I'm not quite sure what happened, but he's on stage performing some of his songs, and there are moments where you can kind of see him having flashes to some of the traumas that we know that have happened to him in the past. What do you think that's about?
So he said it was like, it was definitely PTSD. And he was basically like legit real world triggered. Like with the band, he's creating music, and he created this music that it just unlocked all of those memories. It's like when you live 260 something years and you do atrocious things, you murder people, you're a part of numerous atrocities are done to you. You have to compartmentalize it. And normally when you're compartmentalizing it, it's on to the next thing. It's like you forget this by going on to the next thing. So it's like you don't process it, you just put it in a box. While he's on stage, while he's feeling his music, while he's opening himself up to creativity, that's when all of the horrible traumatic stuff came flooding back to him. And he said he had a panic attack on stage, or a mental breakdown on stage. He had a full Minty B on stage and nobody realized.
Yeah, he said his first Minty B, and I'm like, first of how many? You know, how often is this going to happen? Because he has worked his way into a rock band. There was a band across the way. He could hear them playing, and we know that Lestat, he loves himself, but he really loves music, and he's just not going to allow somebody to butcher the one thing that he holds dear above pretty much everything. So he bursts in the door, kicks down the door, destroys the guitar, and tells them people to get it together. Eventually, they will be a band. We have Larry, the front man on guitar, who probably was the face of this band before Lestat showed up, and I can imagine he doesn't like that. You have Alex, the brother, is a little bit more talented, straight-laced. Salamander on the bass, who is dumb. And TC, the abandoned bride of other rock bands. So that's the group. And they are there as Lestat is performing and having this mental breakdown. But he tells us the band is cooking. They're all doing the things. He is the one that has been holding them back because he has not been tapping in to the stories and his traumas from the past. And so he decided, all right, my music career is going to be me telling the tales of, you know, how I became this Vampire Lestat, right? So it seems like it's like campy, kind of gimmicky music, but for him, it's real life. And so he's dealing with those memories, but because he's addressing them, the music is good.
Yeah, exactly. And can I just say the music is not good to me. I don't.
You don't love Black Licorice?
No, I'm like looking at I might have to download them and maybe hear them. Like I'm just like, what is this?
I like the rollout that we got leading up to the premiere of this show because I think Sam Reed performed this live like a couple weeks ago in New York. Was it last week? He performed it. So he's been very much leaning into like the rock star elements of this. And this song, Black Licorice, apparently is about the first kill he made after him and Louis kind of had their falling out. And so that's the song he's performing when this happens. And so I think, he like taps into that moment and, kind of unlocks that extra added potential of the rock star, kind of vampire persona that he's giving. Now, he also comes across this lady, Baby Jinx. Is she overdosing when he decides to drink her blood? Is that what happened?
Well, yeah. So she was, he fell for it again. He was blood poisoned again. So she had drugs in her system. And then the fact that she had drugs in her system, and then he was draining her, I think, is what sent her into an OD situation. And they luckily were able to revive him thanks to Dr. Farid is here again. What
He's not here.
I'm not here.
I'm not here. He's actually not here.
Is not here again. And he actually revives her and helps her, and just baby jinx, more like high jinx. Like, what is happening? This whole episode was just so good, but so confusing, so all over the place. Like, it felt like 4 different types of genres in one episode. Because once he's high and talking to baby jinx on the ceiling, like her soul on the ceiling, I'm like, what? And him being high was so hilarious, and I was just like, what am I watching? Not what is it? What am I watching? Celebratory, like, not
right, positive, yeah.
Because it was so hilarious.
This episode is brought to you by Prime. What if you had one more chance with the one that got away?
Sam, you came home.
Based on the best-selling novel from Carly Fortune. Every year after follows childhood friends Sam and Percy as they reunite in the dreamy, nostalgic lakeside town of Barry's Bay.
Love can be hard to find. So if you're lucky enough to find that person, never let go.
A second chance at first love. Every year after. Streaming June 10th, only on Prime.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
This Father's Day, when you ship UPS Air at the UPS store, your items arrive on time or your money back, guaranteed at no extra cost. It's like the father of all shipping services. It shows up to the airport way too early, just to play it safe. It's overprotective about all the things that truly matter, and it's always prompt, especially to be with family. Make it your first choice to celebrate your dad. Ship UPS Air with our money-back guarantee, exclusively at the UPS Store U.S. retail locations. Visit the upsstore.com/air shipping for full details. Terms and conditions apply.
Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry. Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable. From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces, ready to be engraved with your summer mantra. Each design moves with you, from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between. Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection, in-store or online at pandora.net, and let your summer unfold.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Yeah, so he gets blood poisoned, and he's having almost like a conversation with her in his mind as he's dealing with this. And I think she's kind of alluding to someone dying. She's saying everyone dies.
Yeah, so real quick, he says that he's talking to her soul, and he says when he's on stage, when he has his mentee B, he says he's unlocking the muses, and I feel like this is actual like vampire lore here. Like it's not just a mental breakdown; it's that mental block is gone. So now that he can connect with the muses, the ephemeral, you know what I'm saying? Like the goddesses of creativity that can flow through him and stuff like that. Like, maybe not real, but like
Mm-hmm.
tapped into, like that energy is tapped into. And because of that, it almost feels like his powers have like it's another level to his powers. Just like Louis learned how to do the little flame trick. Now it seems like Lestat might, I wonder if he'll be able to see more souls going forward. Because that's what he said. He said, I saw her soul and I talked to her soul. And like you said, she starts saying like, oh, they died, they died, they died. And then she says to Daniel Malloy, he dies very badly or something like that. So I'm thinking she is an actual soul and like, can see into the other side and, into the future, not into the future, but you know what I'm saying? Like this seems like something for reals, even though he was tripping balls.
Right. And she also kind of highlights one of his motivations because he's talking about how thousands of fans will they love you. And he's like, I want millions. And she's like, is that enough? He's like, billions? ? Like he's kind of like, I want to be admired. Like I need to fill this void, this empty space I have in my heart because I don't feel like I am loved. So I need fans. All the fans, every fan. I am doing this because I need to be admired. And it's very odd to me that like we very quickly pulling back the like Lestat is kind of like the torture, like, oh, he lost his love of his life. What are we to do? Because Lestat, to me, I can't overlook the events of Interview with the Vampire season 1 and 2 until we completely tell me that some of that stuff did not happen. Right? Like if it did happen, I'm still looking at Lestat crazy. I know a lot of the listeners and a lot of the people watching the show are like, but he's hot and he misses Louis. All of this stuff. I don't trust this man, y'all. I'm sorry, can't do it. So I get that he's missing some love. Hopefully he's able to find it with this new fandom that he's trying to develop.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the people forget he had a whole side family. Like
remember? A whole side family. Remember? The North remembers. So
had a whole family.
Speaking of the crazy things he says, I like when he was describing his time at the red carpet. When he's talking about, how that night came to be. He's like, yeah, we were on the red carpet. He says the band was inside with Dan, talk about Daniel. And then he says, I'm giving the Paps my pussycat. So what? It is basically him just like on the red carpet posing. Is that talk now? Fashionably late,
Mm-hmm.
Giving the Paps the pussycat.
With flashes of what to happen. This is where I was like, Lord Jesus, what's going on? I was like, oh my God, this is so much.
Yeah.
It made me feel like I was high too.
Right, exactly. Everything's happening so fast and it's a little erratic. It's moving from place to place. We see him go to the men's room and pee. And this is something that we never got from Louis, and Lestat makes a point of pointing that out. Like vampires do use the restroom, just not often.
Yeah, just not often, and clearly it's like not really pee. It's like
it's blood.
Blood, yeah. Yeah. And that they have to Chardonnay it, right? They have to clean the urinal with the wine to make it go down.
Yeah. Which is, I think, it's a cool way of, again, outlining that everything you know about vampires from Louis is not necessarily true, right? Because Louis he never went into any of that at all. And so he's like, see, don't you see how I was saying that he left all this stuff out the book? Like, can't you wait to hear my side? I'm like, he's right. I do want to hear his side. And so we see him joined at the urinal by Tim and non-binary Russ, who I guess can be standing up. I'm not going to ask too many questions.
Right. No. Which was really funny because Lestat was like, oh, your pelvic floor muscles. Cool.
Crazy good over there. They have a coven called the Fang Gang in town, and they are telling Lestat about, basically what's going on. Lestat is not impressed by this coven. Okay. He has seen it all. He has seen the ancient covens. These people, they don't know what they're in for, but he's about to introduce them to the Vampire Lestat very quickly.
Yeah, I like this because this does kind of hint to vampire politics that you can see across multiple series. It's like a lot of major cities, because he's in Detroit now, a lot of major cities, that's where the covens are. Like you think of Armand and his coven in Paris and stuff like that. But the thing is that a lot of these major covens in the US, like this Detroit coven, no matter what, they are normally young vampires and a young coven, just because America itself is young. America itself is only 250 years old. So the fact that in a lot of other books and stuff that I read, it's always the European vampires that are normally for the Twilight people, the Volturi or whatever, it's normally like a European council of vampires, because those vampires are thousands of years old that are trying to govern the upstarts in the US, which are normally young baby vampires that are only a couple hundred years old. So with Lestat being a pretty old European vampire, and even if he's still only a couple hundred years old, and he's not 1,000 or 500 like Armand is, he still has that European vampire aesthetic, where he's like, I come from the oldest bloodline. Y'all ain't gonna intimidate me and your Fang gang. You know what I'm saying? So I really did like this kind of nod to vampire politics.
Yeah, I like this a lot too. Tim and Russ are like, you're coming with us. It's kind of a setup. He's been blood poisoned, all that kind of stuff. It seems like Lestat could be in some trouble, but he's still a badass. Very quickly, just like, I think, walks into a room full of vampires. He tells his I don't know, girlfriend D, hey, go chill over there. I'll be right back. And handles up. I'm talking about just starts demolishing these other vampires. They get the upper hand on him until he's given to backup by Daniel Malloy as well. And they're able to fight themselves out of that situation, but into a crowded room of people with the very band that he has assembled there, for the first time seeing him in full vampire mode.
Yes, it wasn't just Daniel Malloy. That was Sam. Sam from the Theater Vampire. Right?
Exactly. Him too.
The playwright who escaped with the help of the Order of the Talamasca. So that's why I'm really like, did we miss something here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So he was lucky, because he was cooked. he was very close to seeing the sunlight. And Daniel think he's cool. Oh, there's an after party. Like, okay,
Daniel. Okay, Daniel. Yeah.
Let me know if you want a Daniel cup.
Right. We might have to get the Daniel Malloy cup going. So yeah, he comes and helps him out. And then all the rock stars are actually seeing that Lestat is a vampire before he very subtly jumps out the window and starts flying. So subtle. It ends up with his head in the toilet in a bathroom in Detroit. So he had a night. What a night for the Vampire Lestat, as he is listening to the sounds of people having transactional sex through the walls. We see him finally linking up with this person that he's been texting. He's been saying, come to me. And we know that's famously how he talked to Louis, like, come, and this person this whole time going back and forth, like, no, where you at? What are you doing? Well, he's like, come to me. Well, that person is here. They said, I'm here. Where? And then we see the big reveal. Who has he been texting? It says his fledgling and his mother. Yeah. We meet Gabriella Lestat de Leoncourt.
Gabriella de Leoncourt.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know, but she healed him. She had the power to heal him. So that was. Did you see that?
I didn't catch that. Did she?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like he had a like a cut on his cheek, and as she touched it, it went away before they hugged. So yeah. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. But like you said, it's not Louis, so I guess that's what we.
It's a win, but also fledgling lover mother, because they start kissing. Hey. What?
I know what. Yeah. I'm trying to see if she has a last name on IMDb.
Oh, this actress is
Gabriella.
Yeah. So if we are taking for granted what his mom's name, like this is his actual mother, right? Like he wasn't just being like mother, like in a stand sense. We got Jennifer L.A. Playing Gabriella here, and she shows up and they immediately start locking lips. So I was like, maybe he meant like mother in like a metaphorical sense, but no. I don't think this is the case. It sounds like fledgling, meaning he made his mother. That's very interesting to think about.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, it's like she was your maker, now you're her maker. That's weird. And I think
y'all kissing.
I know, and I'm pretty sure you're right. I it's like that House of the Dragon moment. I was like, that was what's it, his mother? And everybody's like, that was definitely his mother.
Definitely his mother.
But I think it is her because in the scenes from the rest of the season, I'm pretty sure that's her. So, but I mean, what Twa? Is that what was he? Is that
it was moi and Twa?
Right?
Yeah. So it's me to you, basically. Right? Yeah. So they didn't want to give it away. But what did you think about this reveal that it's not Louis? Did you think it was Louis?
I just assumed. So I'm not going to pretend like I was smart and be like, I thought it was Louis. Mm-hmm.
I was rooting against it so hard. I never thought it was Louis. I was just praying that it wasn't. The whole time I was like, just please don't. Because I felt like if it was Louis, they showed Louis on the FaceTime, right? So why be coy about the moi and toi, of it all? Well, you could just be like, Louis, could put like, my love, whatever, me more, whatever. Whatever. I don't know what French people say. Yeah. But anyway, so I figured it wasn't him, but I was hoping that it wasn't for sure. I didn't expect it to be his mother at all. And in a weird way, the show kind of justifies, strict, like this weird roundabout way, there's even their physical relationship, because we saw Lestat reminiscing about all the sex he's had over the years, right? He's like, I've had a lot of sex. It's the fourth best thing that a vampire can do, apparently. The fourth best joy that you can have as a vampire. And I think, and we kind of talked about this a little bit more, I guess when you've done everything, nothing is off the table? Question mark?
Yeah. I guess that we can put it like that.
Those Theater de Vampire people, they had some freaky relationships like that too, wasn't it? A mom and a daughter or something like that. Yeah. That was having sex with Armand or something. It was too much. Yeah. Too much. Mm-hmm. So yes. So now we get to kind of see what it looks like when. I don't even want to talk about this like this. I guess he has another love interest in his mother that we should be concerned about. We have to also see the aftermath of what it looks like when he reveals himself to his bandmates. We got to find out what the Talamasca is doing here with Daniel Malloy, Sam being a vampire, but we know that he has been double dipping. And then, of course, we got to figure out why we get to the point where we're selling his estate, auctioning it out in front of a room full of who I would consider his ops, honestly. With Louis there, Raglan there, Armand there. Daniel is like, hey.
Picking the bone. And that's why they set that first lot on fire. He said, look, y'all ain't never going to get that. Like that. Yeah. And I thought that was pretty cool. They set the first lot on fire to make the second one almost more valuable too. I think that's what they were getting at there. But yeah, man, what a great episode, in a way to like really pull people back into the show, and get us back into this world, but in a different way too. Like, because we're in the Interview with the Vampire World, but the setting is so different. Like, we are literally, it's present day now. You know? Like, we're not in 1910 anymore. We're not in 1934 anymore. We're not in 1945 anymore. So it's crazy. Like, that's where we're at now.
And the tone of this season is so different compared to what we were coming from, right? Because we talked about season one. Tonally, it wasn't really, it had dark moments, obviously, but it was New Orleans, so it's a little fun and party atmosphere. Even like one of the biggest murder scenes they have is preparing for, it's Mardi Gras, right? So that's so lively. Then you switch over to season 2, and we start off in the trenches, right? It's World War One, I believe, and they are struggling. One of them. They're struggling. No, listen, charge in my head, not my heart. But yeah, they're dealing with one of the like just so many problems, right? The people are sick, the vampires are dying, the blood is depressed, and then we move over to France where it's a little bit livelier, but there's almost like this looming presence of something's about to happen with the Armand of it, with Lestat constantly talking to Louis from what we can only like perceive at the time was like not the grave, because he's supposed to be dead. We found out Louis didn't kill him. So, we get all of that, and we're kind of on the edge of our seat wondering, when is Lestat going to return? We get the big return, and it's so dark. The ending of that season is so dark. Well, now we're not dark anymore. This kind of feels like a party. It feels like the rock star kind of energy is seeping into the show. And now we have so much more to explore about kind of the way humanity has moved on away from vampires. But what is there for Lestat to do? What is Louis even doing at this point, right? We don't really know what his lifestyle looks like. And then what's all of this for Daniel Malloy? Is it just, I want to make another documentary? Do I just want to just seize fame at an all-time high? I don't really know where we're going with this, Mari.
I don't either, and I'm so excited. I'm here for the ride. I'm here to get into Lestat's brain. We're now in Lestat's brain. It's kind of weird because you like, of course, we were in from Louis' point of view, and then Claudia's point of view, and now we're in Lestat's point of view, and it's just, this brain is messed up.
Yeah. He does it. He's seen a lot. He's suppressed a lot. It's a lot of it's colored by his own views of himself and the world around him. And then also he be on drugs. So yeah, a lot to unpack here with Armand. With Lestat. Now I have a question. Since he can speak to souls, allegedly, let's just say he can, right? Because with Baby Jinx, he was able to kind of talk to her soul. Does that mean souls of the past are on the table? Do you think we will see Lestat talking to Claudia at any point this season?
I think it's very possible. I think we do see Claudia in the scenes, like they're coming up for scenes for the season. So I hope we do. It would be cool to try and get like a cathartic moment between the two of them, or something to that effect. So I hope so. I truly hope so, to say the least.
I would want Claudia to come in and kind of weigh in on the question of who's telling the truth in certain situations, for at least for the stuff she was there for. So, if Lestat's like, that's not how that happens, I want Claudia to come in and be like, you're right, but also you're wrong about this, and this. And Louis was tripping when he did XYZ, maybe that is why, because Claudia's the only, like I said, she's like the only firsthand source we ever got, that wasn't Louis. And so now we're getting Lestat's versions, but I would love to hear maybe like almost like a neutral third party. I don't know how neutral she would be, but a third party come in and like who knows? Actually, now I'm mentioning it, I don't know. Maybe Claudia can't be trusted either.
Yeah, I think again the most we're gonna get is just like them reconciling, or and not even that, but just forgiving each other.
Yeah, making amends. Who knows here? But Mari, that's it for the episode. If you're listening to this, let us know in the comments what you thought about the episode. Any questions you have for our vampire expert, Mari, or any comments that you want to make about it, let us know in our YouTube comments, youtube.com/@recapkickback, or, make sure you can actually leave them in the Spotify comments these days. We move so far. So let us know in the comments there if you have anything you want to talk about here on our Vampire Lestat recap episodes. Mari, before we go, please give us a vampire recommendation. What's something that will help us enhance our vampire lore until the next time we come?
One of the properties I'll definitely highlight is the new Nosferatu movie. It's not new. It came out like maybe 2 years ago, or 2 years now, or last year or something like that. But the one with Lily Rose Depp, I actually really liked it. Like a modern remake of Nosferatu. It was really good. Very stylized in how it was shot. I enjoyed it immensely. And Nosferatu is always like a great take on like a different version of a vampire. So check that out if you haven't
All
already.
right. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Even let us know what you thought about Nosferatu. You can always email us at recapkickback@gmail.com if you want to get your comments read here on the podcast. But if you leave a 5-star review on any of your podcatchers and when we see it, we'll talk about it here. But thank you all for listening, and make sure you tune in next time for what we have coming. Mari, what do you have coming up? Because I guess you should tell everybody about our most recent crossover event.
Yes, we took over Crime Scene now. Chappell was amazing enough to come on Crime Scene for our Buy Me a Coffee supporter only like live stream, where Buy Me a Coffee supporters, Crime Scene Buy Me a Coffee supporters were able to watch us record a Crime Scene episode live. So they got to see us flubbing and dubbing and taking stuff again and really just having fun. They also got to do like kind of like an AMA before and after the podcast. We were really like talking to everybody there. They got to ask questions during the podcast, got to send their comments during the podcast. So it was so fun. Thank you so much, Chappell, for coming on. We covered the Nightmare Upstairs, what happened to Ty and Bryn, and that will be available in its edited version this week on Crime Scene. So you can go to crimescenepod.com to subscribe to wherever you get your podcasts. You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/crimescenepod, where you can either become a member or a supporter so that you can get access to all of our exclusive stuff. We have at least 6 Buy Me a Coffee exclusive episodes. Again, we plan to do more of those monthly live recordings. And so don't miss it. If you don't want to miss it, become a member, become a supporter. You can also find Crime Scene at Crime Scene Pod at all social medias. You can find me on Blue Sky at Mari Talks Too Much. That's 2, like the number 2.
Yes. And follow me and Recap Kickback on all social media platforms at Recap Kickback. But that's it for Mari and for myself. Please tune in next time and subscribe and join us for all the other Recap Kickback content. But we will catch you all next time. You ain't got to go home, but we will see y'all next week. Peace.
I've been trapped behind Swamp Maria, isolated like it's North Korea. Smaller city with some bigger dreams. The wall is cracked, I'm looking in between it. The world is yours, but man, I gotta see it. They say it's hard, but man, I gotta see it. The air I'm breathing can't feel my chest. Wait on life, I wanna hold my breath. I'ma get in my goddamn self.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.